Week 2 in the books. Welcome back to the channel, Big Dog Brett. So much to cover. We're going to get through it as quick as we can. Appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, if you guys would share, that does so much for the channel. We definitely want you guys to subscribe, like every like we can get, and love every comment. But if you guys can share, that really helps get the channel to the places that I can't get it to. So if you really want to support the channel, that's the way to do it. Now, now that all that's out of the way, let's go over week 2. Oh man. What South Carolina. I don't know where that came from, but that's interesting. I don't think anybody saw that coming. I don't think South Carolina fans saw that coming either. I think they were just as surprised as anybody else. A lot more happier than everybody else, but still probably the most surprised. Now, I'm going to get into the Georgia game. Don't worry, we'll get into that. Let's get into some of the other stuff. Clemson, man, what happened there? 24 to 17 or 14 or something ridiculous. Texas A&M should not be that good against the Trevor Lawrence of old. The Trevor Lawrence of old would have destroyed that team. Don't know what happened, but if they want to contend for a national championship, they got to fix that. I get it, a win's a win. Take every win you can get, whether it's by 1 point or 100. But they should have obliterated Texas A&M. That didn't happen. Alabama, again, I don't know what happened with Alabama. They come out and play like a completely different ball club than the first quarter Alabama we saw last week against Duke. Hats off to those guys. Wonderful performance. Can't complain there. Florida got a win. Felipe Franks is Felipe Franks. Again, that well's not too deep. No big surprises there. Felipe Franks is already getting trash talk from the fans. And he struggles, it seems like dude, that's what Felipe Franks does. I mean, he actually didn't do too bad in the games as far as statistics go. And there's fans already talking about they want to bench this guy. So I don't get it. Now, let's talk about my next to favorite game. Hold that thought. I need my sweet tea for this one. Now, I got to preface this. Good sweet tea. All you Texas fans, not all Texas fans, all of you Texas fans that were in my comment section waist deep after the Georgia loss to Texas in the Sugar Bowl. Texas is back, right? That is sweet. Now, before you jump down in the comment section, razzing me because I'm razzing you guys, think about that a second. You guys came in, Texas is back. We're going to run the world. We're national playoff championship third. We're going to make it. No. Sorry, guys. Texas is a good ball club. I mean, coming along, but what in the world was y'all putting on the field for defense? When I told y'all Georgia had a bad game and you guys just tried to say that Texas was dominating the crap out of Georgia because they were that much better, guess that's not the case, huh? Had that have been the case, you guys would have done the same thing to LSU, and you didn't. So that puts one L on your schedule. Now, certainly still possible to go out and make a championship appearance. A playoff appearance, I should say. But that would mean you'd have to beat Oklahoma twice. With the way that you struggled against LSU's new offense they just implemented, You guys ain't got a shot against Oklahoma and Jalen Hurts. I'm sorry, but you don't. Those guys are going to embarrass you if you think LSU isn't that good. Game I watched, I didn't see DBU on either side of the ball. If you did, y'all let me know. Is it some 500 yards worth of offense or something? Yeah, you're not going to do that against. You're not going to do that against Oklahoma and win either one of those games. It ain't going to happen. Now, for all you Texas fans, I had a little class. This part's for you. While the team is not as good as it was professed by some Texas fans, the team is moving in the right direction. I am an SEC homer, and I'm an SEC homer for very solid reasons. And it's not just because of this, it's because of the bowl appearances. SEC has a 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 down teams, and all of a sudden the whole SEC is bad. That's not even close to being accurate. So I kind of got to say, unless you – now, by the way, let me back up. By the way, LSU, not a terrible football team. Not at all. No shame in losing to LSU the way you did. We've lost to LSU, still made a playoff appearance. Still made the SEC championship. Had we won that game, we'd have went to the playoffs. So it wasn't the loss to LSU that really hurt us. Some Georgia fans will argue different, but we still would have had to have won that championship game. I'm sorry, I just feel that way. That's what I feel. Anyway, if you consistently look at the teams that do well in the playoffs, if you consistently look at the teams that win national championships, and no, we're not riding the coattails of Alabama, I'm just telling you, they got to play through the same gauntlet. And teams in the SEC can beat Alabama on occasion. Tends to mean there must be some pretty solid teams here. That's the way it is. So LSU, I'd probably say, is third, maybe fourth in the SEC, depending on the year, almost any given year. Some years second. It just depends on the year. And LSU went up and down the field on you both ways. I don't know what to tell you. So, yeah, I enjoyed watching Texas lose. And it's mainly wasn't because I wanted to see Texas lose. It's because, kind of dealing with the fans the way they were after my last video or whatever. So I get it. And I can take the criticism. I enjoy the criticism. And the reason I do is because if I got fans from Texas, Texas fans that are upset because I'm talking smack about their team, that just means they care about their team. And if there's fans in there that are not mad I'm not talking smack about their team, that means they actually want to listen to the content. So that works too. Anyway, long story short, it shows that there's definitely some weaknesses in Texas's game, and LSU has definitely made some strides in the right direction trying to evolve their football team. If they were able to go out there and do that against Texas, that shows that whatever Coach Ojarama Ramadan is doing is working. So that's a good thing. Now, that having been said, let's talk about the Maryland Terrapins. I don't even know what they call themselves. Whew. They come out like their hair was on fire. They played that way the whole game. Hats off to them. Saw some big blowouts. Saw some games that I was really impressed with. But the thing that kind of impressed me the most was seeing the passing game show up for Georgia. It was absolutely there. Georgia has an opportunity to build on that. We scored on Murray State pretty much anytime we wanted to. We pulled out starters halfway through the second quarter. Technically, I don't think that game should even count for Jake Fromm. He didn't really play but like a quarter and a half. And after that, we put in Stetson Bennett. And I don't know why we put that guy in. Anybody probably do the same as he did or better. that game really could have had more points put on the board for Murray State if they didn't have Stone for hands. One near interception right out of the gate when he got out there, and another interception later on that resulted in a pick six. Ooh, you can't play like that. If you have a quarterback like that, essentially all you can really do is hand the ball off. Stetson Bennett should have learned the system by now. If he doesn't know it, he doesn't know it. Sorry, that's the way it is. Now, was very impressed with Georgia. 247 million yards in rushing, and some decent numbers in passing. George Pickens is probably going to be the next superstar. At least that's what you're going to hear all the Georgia fans say. And got to see Zeus get his first touchdown, D-Rob get his first touchdown, George Pickens get his first touchdown. Pretty much everybody on the Georgia offense had a touchdown, and I think one defensive player. So scored at will, ton of points. Can't remember the last time I saw Georgia put 60-plus points on the board against anybody. And that was with, keep in mind, here's the impressive thing, that was with Georgia taking their foot off the throttle. When you pull your starting quarterback, you've taken your foot off the throttle. You're letting the other guys get in and get play time and just saying, hey, do what you want to do, guys. Have some fun. Games in the bag. Get some game experience. Put in some stuff we normally don't put in. Practice some stuff. And just kind of stretch it out. And that's what Georgia did the whole game. They practiced every package they had. The only thing I didn't see them try was the flea flicker and the 2-point conversion. Georgia running up and down the field all they wanted. So very impressive. I think every running back we had averaged for 10-plus yards. That's insane. To have one running back that can average for 10-plus yards is awesome. Have multiple is insane. Auburn, Bo Nix is not Bo Jackson. He's not. The guy had bad numbers. I don't know how. Well, I don't know what they're going to do with that guy. The running back is not that great either, which means Gus Malzahn is probably going to get fired at the end of the year. Sorry, Auburn fans, it don't look good right now. Considering the fact you guys should have one of the best defensive line in the country and or offensive line, the fact that you have wide receivers that can run, just about run the 40-yard dash in 3 seconds. I'm exaggerating, but Auburn fans know what I'm talking about. The guys are blazing fast. There's absolutely no reason they should struggle at all with offense, and for whatever reason, can't seem to be the case. Guy throws almost as many interceptions as he does touchdown passes, sometimes more. Needs a ton of work, and maybe he'll settle down. We'll see what happens, but as for right now, not that great. Now, South Carolina lost their Jake Bentley's out, and then Helsinki's in. And that guy looks to be the real deal. Guy looks good, looks really good. We'll see how they look against some more stout defenses, but that's definitely a shot in the arm that the South Carolina fan base needs, and honestly probably deserves. Now, I'm not a huge South Carolina fan. I lived in South Carolina for a number of years. Fans were always pretty good to me. Of course, that changes once you go to the stadium, but that's pretty much anywhere. But one thing I will say, South Carolina fans, write a letter to whoever the athletic director is at William Bryce Stadium and tell them to please, pretty please, with chicken and waffles on top, stop doing that rooster crow every 15 seconds. It's like getting notifications from Facebook, dude. It's ridiculous. And it doesn't intimidate anybody. Y'all should be embarrassed at that. People laugh at y'all for that. Just stop. Okay, Kentucky. Nothing really to talk about with Kentucky. Arkansas, same thing. Missouri, Kelly Bryant's going to show out. That guy's looking good. He's playing lights out. He's playing with all the passion in the world. He's trying to turn this last hoorah at Missouri into an application for the NFL. So he's going to be on his toes doing everything he can. And probably a little bit of that is to show Dabo Swinney that they got rid of a good quarterback. Now, he also may be trying to show some of the Clemson fans that, hey, you guys shouldn't have treated me the way you did. I should still be the starter. And if Trevor Lawrence continues to play the way he's playing, that may be an accurate statement, and it may be a statement that some Clemson fans don't want to hear. I'm sorry if I throw some stuff out there and you guys really not that really not that happy about what I'm saying. Not saying it to tick you off, guys. I'm calling it like I see it. If Kelly Bryant continues to perform at a high level like he is, and Trevor Lawrence continues on the same path he's on, I would have to argue that Kelly Bryant was probably a better quarterback. Sorry. FSU, Willie Taggart, you'll be fired shortly. Check's in the mail. Pick it up. Don't call us. We'll call you. And I couldn't be happier about it. I love watching Florida State fans suffer. I have my own reasons. But yeah, that's the way I feel. Now, this is for you, Jeremy Pruitt. What are you doing? I am no Tennessee fan. I have no love lost for that team losing games 99.9% of the time. But this is embarrassing. I ain't even on y'all. I mean, I was to the point where I couldn't stand Tennessee because of that Hail Mary thing, putting the cardboard cutout up in the spring game or practice or some crap, making fun of how they got that Hail Mary pass against Georgia. Hey, listen, I thought all that was real low class, and I just didn't feel it was necessary. And so I was kind of smiling whenever I think it was Florida did the same thing to Tennessee with that stab, and Tennessee ended up losing because of a Hail Mary pass. But this stuff here lately, man, yeah, you ever see somebody so down, like a guy that you really don't like, and like his wife has left him for his best friend, and they took the dog, and the guy found out that he lost all his money in his bank account, and I mean, he found out he got some serious problem with his work, and I mean, just one hard lick after another, after another, after another. Man, it's bad. Jeremy Pruitt, Jim Chaney, what are we gonna do with y'all? Not only are y'all somehow managing to embarrass the Tennessee fans, y'all are managing to embarrass the Georgia fans that y'all used to coach for. It's like, it's like that girl that you dated in high school that like you got rid of, and like somebody else started dating them, and they're like, didn't you date so-and-so? Not at all. That's what's going on with Jeremy Pruitt and Jim Chaney. Jeremy Pruitt is clearly not a head coach. And we've been telling everybody for a while now that Jim Chaney is clearly not a good offensive coordinator. I know they were thinking that they were going to implement Jim Chaney and that offense was going to dramatically improve. And I'm sorry, but you have to have the talent. You just do. And while Tennessee has talent, they don't have enough to do what Georgia's doing. And unfortunately, Tennessee's schedule is pretty much only going to get harder from here on out. And I think they got to play Chattanooga somebody this weekend. They should win that game, but they should have won the first two games. So, and until I see different, I can't pick Tennessee to win a game. And I think if you're being objective as a Tennessee fan, not being a Tennessee fan like being a homer, but being a fan that looks at that and goes, what do I really think is going to happen? There's an old saying that I've just stuck in my brain for years. And it's one from the old Andy Griffith Show talking about Barney Fife. He could snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. That should be Jeremy Pruitt's coaching slogan. Public service announcement. If you have a fan who's a volunteer fan, if you have a friend who's a volunteer fan, it doesn't show signs on the surface of crying or anxiety. They want to act like everything's okay, and they say everything's okay, but it's really not okay. You need to call them and check on those guys and make sure they're okay. Uh, this is the roughest season for these guys I've seen in a while. I'd love to kick on like an Auburn or a Georgia Tech or even Tennessee and Florida. But at this point, even I want to call the dogs off. By the time Georgia faces Tennessee, I don't know how many players will be left on the team. I think if they lose many more games without some semblance of success, or at least something to brighten that team up, I really, really think that you're going to see a lot of transfers from that team. They're not going to fire Jeremy Pruitt. I just don't believe the money's there. They're still paying off other coaches. I think they're stuck with him for a while. But if you're lucky, they can fire Jeremy Pruitt at the end of the year, and maybe, just maybe, they could hire Gus Malzahn. Well, the reason that's funny is because Georgia won't mind, and they'd be happy to have him, and Auburn would be happy to be rid of him. I think it's a win-win-win. So, all right, you guys, thanks so much for tuning in. I'll be making that hate video soon. So you guys have a good weekend. Have a great day. Have a great week. God bless. Go Dogs.